Because of Adenusi Patrick, we'll be talking about MPA. Now, Adenusi Patrick was supposed to be here for us to talk about the traffic situation, especially in Apapa, before we then had the passing of the Titan, the Lagos Titan. And but I still, being a good friend of mine, I still said, okay, come in and let's sit in and both pay tribute to Alhaji Lateef Jakonde, the first civilian governor of Lagos State. Patrick, how are you?
Very good, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, welcome back from a very long trip.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Alhaji, well, we will take your phone calls, 0700 993 993 993. We will take your phone calls and read some of your tweets, paying tribute to this great man. Patrick, very quickly before I'm going to be calling on my list of those I'm going to call. First of all, I'm going to call Mr. Bayo Shiemi, who used to be the Alhaji's Jakonde spokesperson way back then, and he's going to take us through the activities that will take place today. Then I'm going to call Alhaji Asinatu Ojikutu, who was the first civilian deputy governor of Lagos. I'm also going to call Dr. Bawala, who is non-political, so that we can get a broad whatever. I'm going to call Dr. Bawala, who is non-political. We will, get his feelings. I'm going to try and call and see if we can get Professor Jikutu this morning. If you don't get him today, this program continues tomorrow during the discourse, because apart from being the first civilian governor, Alhaji Jakonde planted his feet in the sands of time. And I'm one of those who believe that we must celebrate those who we perceive have done right. We're also going to call Mr. Segun Agbede to look at, we are calling him because of the sports area. And we are also going to call Ambassador Musbao, one of the activists, believe you me, that I respect, who paid a very great price during the struggle, the Nadeko struggle. So I'm going to be talking to him. Just forgive me, I'm always a journalist and I try to put things like this in some kind of balance, just so we can get that. We'll continue tomorrow with the discourse, and I'll be talking to some more important Lagosians. We're talking to Dr. Yomi Fini. I'll be talking to Dr. Chief Lai Ajayi Bembe. And we'll also be talking tomorrow to the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Femi Hamzat. We called him in his private, not necessarily to talk on behalf of the government, but we called him in his private capacity or whatever it is. So he will also. So we'll have a very good package between today and tomorrow. Why are we doing all this? This is a celebration of life. The man died at the age of 91, peacefully in his sleep. He had his breakfast. He said he had ogi in the morning. And then he had his breakfast, and after that, then just passed on. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Before I talk to Mr. Bayo Shiemi, do we have him online, by the way? We don't. Philip, do we have Dr. Bayo Shiemi online? Okay, what it is? His phone is off. No, I spoke to him. How many numbers do you have on him? Just one. Okay. We hope his phone will come on pretty soon.
I think we have somebody. I don't know if it's Alaji or Alaja, but the person is something.
Okay, let's get that.
I think it's Alaja
Senator Ojikutu. Okay, let's get the former Deputy Governor, Alaja Senator Ojikutu. Hello. Good morning, ma. Hello, ma.
Hello.
Good morning, Excellency. Good morning, ma. How are you?
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy. How are you?
I'm good. You're calling me Uncle. I'm a small
all you aspiring young ones, Uncle.
well, I think I'm beginning to accept that it has become part of my name. So next time I fill a passport form, they put first name, I put Uncle. Yes, it's a celebration of life. That Alhaji Jakonde passed away at the ripe age, what we call the ripe age of 91. Being a politician, did he inspire you in any way when eventually became deputy governor, when you got into politics?
Yeah, well, the passing of Baba, my Baba, as I call him,
Yes.
Alhaji Latif, Dr. Alhaji Latif, His Excellency, Dr. Alhaji Latif Kayode Jakonde.
Yes.
His passing is a mixed feeling for me.
Okay.
His happiness that he lived to a ripe old age and he passed peacefully.
Yes.
It's sad that somebody like that has left this planet. Somebody who made so much impact
Yes.
on the world. He made the world a better place to live in. So it's mixed feeling of sadness and happiness.
Yes.
I had a close contact with Baba Jakonde. He actually was a catalyst in my career, as you can put it. Baba recognized talent and he promoted talent.
Yes.
Baba came into my life at the time when, corruption has not started in Nigeria. Has just not started in Nigeria. Corruption has been long in Nigeria. And I came in from the U.S. as a young master soldier, wanting to make, with the American attitude of getting things done.
Yes.
And wanting things to be good and economically too. And I went into the Lagos State Service, the Transport Corporation. And I felt that, knowing my experience with the New York Transport Corporation, that Lagos could have the best. And I went ahead with a good team. We were there. I was the secretary of the corporation. I had no general manager then. At the time that I got in, the general manager had just left. So I had all this exuberancy, and I started putting in some measures to collect money properly, to make sure they're not stealing parts of motors and all that. And the union, that they should not be taking the money of the workers. I had all this on the plate. And of course, the board members too that were there wanting to make something for themselves, that they played politics, they've come to reap where they have sowed. So I was combating a lot of negative. And they ganged up and decided that I must go. Baba Jakonde was the governor. He set up inquiry panel. Not one, not two, three. And each panel I was vindicated.
Yes.
And people were removed or transferred and all that. Then finally the union got the upper hand of the workers and they said they must strike. Mrs. Ojikutu must go. You could imagine a single woman against over 3,000 workers in a state where the only means of transportation was the buses.
Yes.
Baba stood his ground and said, this woman is not going anywhere. And I've only met him once before that.
Okay.
He said, this woman, from the records I've seen, she's not going anywhere.
Okay, ma, before you go, ma, because we have loads of people I'd like to talk to, I'd just like to ask.
I'm about to tell you that he's a man of integrity.
Yes.
He stood his ground despite the fact that he was a politician and he said the people's vote. These days, they will throw you under the bus. Baba closed the corporation for 21 days and reordered the place after the military came in and took him out. The buses went back to the kind of things they were doing again. But Baba Jakonde,
yes, ma'am.
I can tell you, it's a whole story. My life history cannot be complete without
him.
Papa's place in it.
Okay, ma. Finally, ma, I just want to ask if you think that the legacy he left behind, the values he left behind, are being followed by the current set of leaders.
No. Baba had an agenda. Baba had a manifesto. Baba had focus. And Baba was not, self-enriching. Baba gave of his own. Baba came to serve, to leave a name in public institutions, in infrastructure, in morals. What are they following? They are not following anything. Baba, what is his name? When Ambode came in, he tried to do something. Almost of the things we are seeing now are media on the newspaper achievements.
Yes.
In 4 years, Ojakonde made a life-changing impact on Lagos State.
Okay, ma. Thank you, ma.
We are still enjoying it today. Are people in Jakonde houses, are they not happy? Yes. They are all celebrating him. The schools that he changed from 2 shifts to 1 shift, all the spaces he got for schools to be built, the road network into the hinterland of Lagos. Lagos as it is today is Lagos because of Baba Jakonde.
Okay, ma. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
24 hours was his working time.
I know.
How he slept, I did not know. And those of us who worked with him were always on alert. His celebration is the celebration of all those who worked with Baba Jakonde too.
Thank you very much.
And I want you to invite Chief Fani Moku.
I thought you meant Chief Anikayode.
No. Chief
okay. Now just
Fani Moku was his right-hand man. I want you to invite him.
Okay, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much.
It's not something you can say in 6 seconds.
I know, man. I know. I appreciate that.
His life is worthy of emulation by everybody.
Okay,
and
man.
I pray Nigerians will now use this period of his passing to re-examine. The leaders should re-examine themselves and see if they can leave a legacy that is not a self-legacy.
Okay, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, man. Yes, that was Alhaji Asinato Ejukutu, former deputy governor. She was talking about media on the media of performance on the media and not in reality. I wanted to tell her that Esma, they call it hyping now. Do I have another call? No, okay. They call it hyping now. And as if she read my mind, I spoke about that it. By the way, we had made arrangements to see if we could get the governor to talk to us on this program, and that the commissioner was here to get back to me as at the time we started. So hopefully, maybe we never know. I kept calling, but again, as usual, I hope it's not on another station like it happened yesterday. It's Daily Digest with Jimi Disu. We're doing a tribute to Alhaji Lateef Jakonde. But Patrick, I didn't even let you say anything. You better say something before we hit the call button.
Well, I like to start by saying that if you are born into a country, a community, or a family, and you leave that same family, community, or country the same way you met it, you shouldn't have been born.
What about if you leave it worse than you met it?
That's what I'm saying. If you didn't improve on it, you shouldn't have been born.
Well, if you didn't improve on it, but at least you didn't, didn't degenerate.
Well, there's no neutral point. Baba came, he performed.
Yes.
He had hindsight, he had insight, and he had foresight. There is no basis comparing Alhaji Lateef Jakonde with any others. He came, he worked.
Now, talking about transport, that is your own, for there were, let's be honest, there were not this many cars anyway.
There were many cars.
You reckon?
Yes,
there were not this many cars.
There were not this many, but the vehicles in Lagos then was many. And to ease the congestion, we had odd and even number.
Yes, that was the initiative then. I remember.
So, and beyond the road, he came up with water transport. The ferries.
Babakekere and so on.
Babakekere, Itafaji, shuttling between CMS, Apapa, CMS, Mile 2. The numbers of commuters that were moved by those vessels eased traffic on the road.
Yes, definitely.
Way back in that 70s, he was already working
80s.
on,
79.
80s. 79 into 80 in the early 80s. He kicked off the metro line He kicked off the metro line. Had the metro line functioned in 1984-85, today in Lagos we have had underground like London. If he could be that insightful, if he could see far, and himself and his team,
No, I know that mass transit is
Yes.
the way to go.
yes, knew that mass transit was the way to go and went to work on rail. 1983. This is 2021. About 40 years after, we are still pushing Okada in Nigeria. Super shame.
Yeah. We'll get to talk about transportation sometime next week. Next week on Tuesday, that you have agreed to come back. We'll have to take a short break now to run a commercial. When we come back, we'll try to see if we can get some of our other guests on the phone. The phones are not being too friendly today. We'll try to see if we can do that. We'll take a short break and then we'll be right back.
Yellow. This is a public service announcement to our dear customers that don't have NIN or are yet to link their NIN to their MTN lines. As mandated by the NCC, MTN will be linking your national identification number NIN to the same registration information you have already provided to make the process easy for you. Here are 2 simple ways to get it done. Log on to my MTN app or dial *785*NIN#. If you don't have a NIN, visit www.nimc.gov.ng to find an enrollment center near you. If you have registered but can't remember your NIN, dial *346# with the phone number you registered at enrollment. Please remember, apart from your primary line, you must also link your NIN to all your MTN lines and data SIMs such as MiFi, HiNetflix, and any other line you use on the MTN network. This announcement is very important. To avoid disconnection, all lines must be linked before 6th April 2021.
Hey! Omo, make you no sleep on top bicycle. This better don't tie rapper. For those of una wey never use una MTN SIM for over 15 days now, MTN don't charge. Come increase your welcome back of our woof to 12 times your recharge when you load 100 naira and above. Yes, so no be 1, no be 2, no be 3, no be 4, no be even 10 sef. Now 12 times your recharge, then go take credit and data knock your phone. This one means say if you recharge 100 naira, MTN go summon you with 900 naira credit plus 300 naira data bonus. If you can't recharge 200 naira, now 1,800 naira credit go drop for your phone plus 600 naira data bonus. Just make sure so you use *161* recharge pin hash take recharge and enjoy your bonus for up to 30 days. Omo, this one don't pass welcome back. MTN can add Shaw Banker second term on top self. Hey, where that my MTN SIM? Make me self begin follow enjoy better too.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Yellow. This is a public service announcement to our dear customers that don't have NIN or are yet to link their NIN to their MTN lines. As mandated by the NCC, MTN will be linking your national identification number NIN to the same registration information you have already provided to make the process easy for you. Here are 2 simple ways to get it done. Log on to my MTN app or dial *785*NIN#. If you don't have a NIN, visit www.nimc.gov.ng to find an enrollment center near you. If you have registered but can't remember your NIN, dial *346# with the phone number you registered at enrollment. Please remember, apart from your primary line, you must also link your NIN to all your MTN lines and data SIMs such as MiFi, HiNetflix, and any other line you use on the MTN network. This announcement is very important. To avoid disconnection, all lines must be linked before 6th April 2021.
You're listening to Jimi Disu right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Yeah, welcome back. We want to quickly take Mr. Segun Agbede to talk about the sports aspect. Whilst we put Mr. Bayoshi Yemi on hold, we're having a bit of a communication problem, but we'll get around it. Morning, Segun.
Good morning, Ekman. How are you?
You sound nice and chirpy today. That's good.
Oh, yes, I am.
Now, very quickly, because we don't have much time, in the sports area, what could we say was Alhaji Lateef Jakonde's achievement?
To be honest, ever since we broached the subject, I've done a bit of research, and I think, it was colloquially known as the action governor.
Yes.
And it was more about works and housing. I mean, if there was anybody that was for the... In fact, first let me say my deepest and most sincere condolences to the Jakonde family. He was a great man, and, may so rest in peace. So it was for the common man, housing, from in the military era, building Lagos State up, as the first executive governor of Lagos State, and that's what he did.
Okay. The other thing, this is a joke, but I just want to know, have you forgiven him for splitting the Igbobi into 3 secondary schools?
To be honest, I'm not. I was just going to say that I have a rather jaundiced opinion. I mean, I appreciate him as a great man, but I have to be totally honest.
Yeah.
I mean, as a schoolboy, he was actually my neighbor because I lived in the Lupuchi back in the day. Yeah. I really took to heart what he did to Igbobi College. The school has really never recovered. Igbobi College was an excellent school, but he broke it up into like 3 or 4 schools, introduced the morning and afternoon session, and we never really covered it. He did it to other schools as well. Some coped with it better than others. I think Greg's managed to wrest,
Bishop Okoje, yes, he was.
Yes, they managed to wrest control back on him. But Igbobi College, the old boys have done an excellent job of trying to return us to our former traditions, but it's been difficult.
It was said to have been done in favor of the masses, though.
No, in fairness, you know how it is. There are always different points of view, and I do agree that it was a favor for the masses. But looking at it, and I won't say from an elitist point of view, because Igbobi was not an elitist school. He had people who were children of street hawkers and children of multimillionaires. What made you stand out when we were Igbobi, especially when we were in the boarding house, was either your academic excellence or your sporting proficiency. That's where your peers would respect you. It's not how much money your father had or what kind of car brought you to school. Nobody really gave a toss.
Well, I'm glad you found something that upset you about Igbobi, because I'm still upset I couldn't get in way back then. In
the thing is, at least your association should sound...
Get out of here, Jago. Just get out of here. Have a nice day.
All right, sir. God bless you.
Okay, now we're going to try to get Mr. Bayo Oshiemi. Let me see. Yeah, I think I got him. Hello, good morning, sir.
Morning, Jimmy.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, you were the spokesperson for Alhaji Jakonde.
Yes, please.
And what do you think? What do you remember most about him?
I remember Alhaji Jakonde for his capacity for hard, tenuous work.
Okay.
I remember him too for his commitment to duty to the exclusion of any other distraction. I also remember Alhaji Jakonde for his people-oriented ideas and ideals. All of this drove his governorship years, and for which he was able to achieve in 4 years and 3 months what many could not achieve in 2
former governor
more
says
times.
he is grateful to God for his
now,
various
another
achievements
thing I'd
and
like
for
to
the
know, sir,
opportunity
is how
to be alive.
you as a professional operated. Did he have regard for your opinion? Were you well respected? Because one of the problems we do have is those who play your role currently now, to a large extent, depending on their principal, end up just being some guy to go dish out releases and so on and so forth. What was your day like with him? Did you meet him every day as his chief press secretary?
Well, as the chief press secretary, my style then, which he approved of, was to resume in his house. I ranked amongst the first 2 or 3 people that would see him every morning.
Okay.
And because I was very close to the grassroots, I picked up a number of ideas and suggestions which I passed on to him. Of course, what I discovered was that he reckoned with those suggestions. And I can remember, as if it were yesterday, when a decision was to be made to appoint the chairman of the Lagos State Sports Council. He mentioned one or two names to me, and I said, given this gentleman's contributions to sports generally and especially table and long tennis, that Chief Molade Okoya Thomas will fit the bill to be made the chairman. And honestly, he had no difficulty in agreeing with my suggestion. And that was how Molade Okoya Thomas became chairman of the Lagos State Sports Council.
Sorry, I seem to be rushing you, sir, because time is our enemy here. Did he ever tell you why he decided to live in government house and use his personal car? Did he ever give you a reason why he was doing that?
Well, I think his reason for that is that it was quite easy for people to get carried away by the lure and aura of office. And of course, being a critic of government before he came into government himself, he was quite aware that the fact at the time was military intervention at intervals. So instead of having this headache of trying to move personal belongings under gunpoint from government houses to his private homes, the man decided to stay where he was. And when I discovered that he did not live in Ilopeju, I was living in Palm Grove on the other side of Ikorodu Road then. I went into the library and I went into how the presidency works in America. We discovered that majority of those who work in and around the Oval House of the president stayed around that axis. Of course, the government quarters we had then had been taken up. So he approved that we should look for good enough accommodation for his personal staff. And I was the number one personal staff at the time. And that was how I came into Ilopeju at Deyinka Street. Of course, I also moved to ensure that we had a massive, I think, multi-story building.
Okay, sir. Sorry, I'm rushing you, but
we rented for the security and the protocol staff.
Okay,
so
sir.
It was easy for the man to walk around the clock with us. Like when Abiola came to visit him, the man was to come at 10. He didn't show up until about 2, after majority of the leaders who came from Badagry and Ikorodu had gone back.
Okay,
so
sir.
those of us who were personal staff were able to move in immediately to cover the event.
Chief Oshemi, sir, very quickly, what was your relationship with him after he left government? The reason why I'm saying so is that I'm going to ask a question after that, and we have just about 3 minutes, to ask why he took up the ministerial appointment with Abacha's government. So I've tied it into... Yes.
The relationship between me and Alhaji Jakonde progressed from political and professional boss to that of father-son.
Yes.
I maintained absolutely cordial relationship with him until he passed on yesterday morning.
Okay.
And the reason is this: I'm an appreciative person.
Okay, sir.
He gave an appointment in 1979 at the age of 29. I wasn't the only person that passed through his hands in journalism. Why did he choose me? I believe that I owed him eternal gratitude for that. It's fashionable for some people to forget favors so easily. But my kind of upbringing, we are told to appreciate
Okay, sir, can we quickly go? We are running out of time. Did he tell you why he took up that appointment?
Did he discuss?
Did he tell you why he took up the appointment with Abacha during the Nadeko days?
Well, he did.
What was his reason? Very quickly, sir.
And I know, as somebody very, very close to the goings on then, that Abiola was one of those who encouraged him to take the job, as Abiola himself in his lifetime told me when I went to meet him in his house, he took me to his bedroom. The bedroom was to the left before his main sitting room. Secondly, Shivajashi, I made the call to Mrs. Modupe Oshomo in London, where she was holidaying, when Shivajashi asked Alaji Jakonde
can I interrupt,
to tell
sir?
her to come back to Nigeria because she had been nominated as a candidate from Odo State for ministerial appointment.
Yes, sir.
Those 2 points, aside from others, I knew. So, and I know that it had been unfair commentary to say that the man sold out by accepting Abacha's appointment.
Okay, now quickly, sir, what is the arrangement for today? I'm sorry I'm rushing you, but the arrangement for today's funeral, what is it, sir?
The arrangement for what?
Today's funeral. Today is his funeral. Yes.
Yes, well, the government of Lagos State, under Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, immediately stepped in appreciation of the services, unquantifiable services rendered to this state. So the state is working actively with the family to honor and immortalize the man. For example, the state television station devoted its Lagos Today program yesterday.
Sir, the arrangement for the funeral, sir, we are running out of time. I'm so sorry I'm rushing you.
The arrangement.
What time is the funeral?
There will be prayers in his house this morning.
Yes, sir.
And I think by 3 o'clock,
yes,
the remains will be moved in a convoy to where it will be interred somewhere in Ikoyi.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very, very much for your time.
Thank you.
Sorry I had to rush you.
Talking to you, brother Jimmy.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. So that was a tough one. I'm sorry it appeared as if I was rushing him, but I really did have to get as much as... I have Dr. Bawala on the phone. Dr. Bawala is retired. He retired from the oil industry. He's a renowned Lagosian, and I wanted to get some kind of spread. He's not into politics at all. In fact, Dr. Bawala and myself are on the same side of the divide, and he's in his 70s. He's an elder statesman. Doctor, good morning, sir.
Right.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
Sir.
Jimmy?
Sir? Yes, sir. What do you remember of him, sir?
What do we remember of him?
Yes.
Right? Ọlọ́run ọba tó fún environment wa ní privilege to have him as a child. He may have come from Kwara State, but that's not what matters. He was born on Lagos Island. He lived every minute of his life to make the island a viable environment for people to live in. He was a governor for 4 years plus 3 months. And for those 4 years and 3 months, every aspect of our life he has made very solid contributions. Take education.
Okay.
When he came in, there were 3 sets of classes, morning, afternoon, evening.
Yes.
There were not enough physical facilities for education. But after about 50 months of being a governor, he left enough to form a foundation. When you look at the numbers of people attending schools, even though he reduced it to only 1, the number was multiplied.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Of attendance. Physical structure, classrooms, you look at the numbers that he met and the numbers that he left. Secondary school, the same. And of course, there was a governor who was also interested in education beyond secondary school. He started LASU.
Yeah.
That's a contribution. And LASU has become a very viable institution in West Africa, if not in Africa.
A lot has been said, sir. A lot has been said about these achievements. And what one finds worrying is that those who followed don't seem to have the same spirit that he had. What do you think is responsible for that? Government after government, we've found, with the exception, of course, of my dear hero, of course, who everybody knows, Fashola. After that, government after government that has been same of the same. Very little to show in terms of development. I wonder how you take that, sir.
Well, it's not easy to account for the failures of others to know what is right, to identify with the needs of the people, and put the resources of the state in that direction. You pick each one of them. They probably do not have the kind of background that Alaji had. Alaji started as a person from the community, and he grew up with that community. Every part of Lagos Island was free to go. They know him. He related to people, and people can. He has an open door. You go in there, you can talk to him. There was no mystery. There was no cult of personality surrounding him. It is to serve. It's not what he wants to get. Before he became governor, he was living in Lupeju. After he left his governorship, we didn't know that he had other houses in other places. He didn't think that as our next governor, that place is too much below his standard. He's a man with a constant value. That value is service to humanity. And that was the hallmark.
Okay,
today,
sir.
we look at the issue of Lagos State. Beside him, you can talk of our first indigenous governor, Governor Balaji Johnson.
Yes.
And maybe now, controversially, can include one from our generation, or well, not my own generation, maybe, Fashola.
Yes.
But the rest, journey. You can see what contributions are leaving behind. And even the ones are the last few ones.
Yes.
I mean, there is no way you can compare Alaji. And maybe it's not just him. Generations before us, they have values. There's a sense of responsibility that they carry. That sense of integrity, Omoluabi, Bajumo. It's not the amount of money they have in the bank.
Yes.
I only believe the Uruko Dada also do Wura ati Fadaka law. It was a folklore that we grew up with.
Yes, sir.
Back away me, but I'm not looking. These days, people tell you, oh, need but I don't do. Takers doesn't do, I must screech them. So, I mean, physically, these are things that you can use to, I mean, explain and understand why. Àwọn nítorí pé bóyá àwọn bàbá wọn wá láti bí tọ́wọ́ ohun táwọn lè ṣe wọ́n ṣe wọn ní wọ́n fẹ́ kéré oko lọ́lẹ̀. Ibi táwọn wà rẹ̀ yìí èkó táwọn èèyàn kan ń gbẹ̀yìn èlé pélé oko ẹ̀fẹ́ kó èrò oko lọ́lẹ̀ wá láwọn wá wo bíríìjì lẹ́kọ̀ọ́.
I'll have to translate that, sir. But thank you very much for your contribution, Doctor.
I mean,
thank you very much, sir. I'm grateful.
Thank God that we were part of him and he was part of us.
Okay, sir.
Pray to God to bless his soul.
Yes, sir.
And give the state the fortitude to bear his loss.
Okay,
and
sir.
Let's hope that it will be an inspiration to future Jacondays.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you very much, Dr. Bawa.
You're most welcome.
Thank you,
right,
sir. I don't know, that was a meat bag.
It was a big one.
It
was explosive.
It was explosive.
It was unusual.
Then I have to try. This guy is looking dazed. But all that Yoruba, I couldn't understand. Don't worry, Collins, I'll explain to you. We have Ambassador Musba on the line. We have to call Ambassador because he was on the streets in the struggle. Ambassador, morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Well, for those who are hearing for the first time, Ambassador is not an ambassador like that. He's an ambassador of the people. Yeah. Were you close to Babaja Konde by any chance, Ambassador?
Uncle Jimmy.
Yes.
You know, I always say this anytime, any day that Baba lives in Mushin.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Mushin constituency 1. That's where Baba lives. And Baba was so close to his people. You can see the picture I sent to you.
Yeah.
On WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, Baba.
Oh, okay. Go on.
When we do clean up in Lukoju, you know, Baba is a patron to Lukoju greater. There's one group in Lukoju, Greater Lukoju. Baba, we go out every environmental day with a broom. You can see Baba hold broom in that picture.
Yes.
We sweep, we clean Ilopeju every environmental day. Baba go along with us.
Yes.
And Baba is so close to people. If you want to see Baba, just move in there. Baba will talk to you. As a former governor, where some people will be there, police will harass you. No, not Baba is not like that. Baba is very close to people. He talk to you, advise you. Baba talk to me. He said, Musba, Baba will call me on the night. Musba, I want you to join me. I will join Baba at that time. I will speak Ilopeju.
Okay. During the Nadeco days, how did you feel when Baba took up ministerial appointment with Abacha?
Uncle Jimmy, I'm straight from my heart.
Yes.
I don't like Baba. I don't like anything about Baba at that time. I'm not sincere with you.
Yes.
Because we believe he's one of the elders.
Yes.
But don't mistake Baba. Baba are not an activist. Baba is not an activist. He's a journalist. Okay? So I didn't expect him to take that job. At that time, in my community as an activist at that time, we dislike him. Even though when Abiola was to be buried, we sideline him. He's one of those who missed that must not attend that ceremony. He did not. With some senators who attend when we want to strip naked. Most of them are that. Yes, now. You can see the picture now. We told him to go back. He refused to go back. We strip him naked.
Okay.
And the people Marwa call in the military uniform, we turn him back. Don't want to go and wear Agbada. And Marwa go back and wear Agbada before I allow him in.
Okay. All right. So, do you see any of the values that Baba, had being passed on to the current leaders that we have?
Aside that safe job of Abacha, like I told you, Baba, I'm not sincere with you. Chief Obafemi Awolowo never leave those who work with him. You must go along with his plan.
Yes.
And Babaja Konde work according to
the UPM plan.
Obafemi Awolowo plan. Like all the governors in all the 5 states at that time, they work according to that plan to promote that's why when you talk about political ideals, these people have it. And they work towards it. Throughout that state. It pains me Chief Abiola Awolowo should not become a president when the military struck December 1983. Very painful. If not that, Chief Abiola Awolowo would have been president of this country. No time for military at that time. That's why I don't like that uniform at all.
Okay. All right, Ambassador, thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you. May his soul rest in peace. Do we have any? Okay, let's take a few calls from our listeners. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning, sir. You have just 1 minute, please, very quickly.
Yes, my name is Kyle Demogaji, sir.
Yes, Kyle Demogaji, how are you?
Yeah, Uncle Jimmy, I'm very excited getting through today. Because when you talk about role models,
yes,
Papa was a super role model. Not just to me, was a role model to my father. In fact, I was named after him, Latif Kyle Demogaji, from Latif Kyle.
Okay, so yeah, LKM, yes. He's LKJ.
Yeah, my dad was the contravention officer in his regime. So, last time I saw him, I spoke with him was in 2017. He felt extremely bad about my vision impairment. And he said something to me that made me actually see that Uncle Jimmy is the last of his type. Seriously, it's the last of his type. Because I realized most of the people in power today, they actually, he had an open door regime where anybody could go to his house. And these people also frequented his house. The people in power today, they kind of created a curtain because he's very old age. He still read newspapers and all. And I think when he's very upset, he sees things and he tries to reach out to some of the people in power today, and they will all go there to create a completely to him, to what was going on. And you know what? Efetedo is going to miss him a lot. He's going to miss him a lot. There's a lot of things going on.
Kade, I think we might have to call you back because the line is not going through. Okay? But thank you very much for your contribution. Let me take one more, please. Hello, morning.
Uncle Jimmy and Mr. Adenusi and Nigerians, we can all see that good name is better than silver and gold. No matter how much you gather, how much you amass for yourself, if you don't have that good name stated, it's all vanity upon vanity. The way you asked about or something now, the way I felt the day the great Shilari took the appointments from the military, from the People's Bank, that was the same way I felt the day this man took appointments from the military junta. I wept bitterly that I said, what is happening? That was where I felt. But it does not take away the greatness of this man.
Yes.
In terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of housing. This metro line that some people are shouting about today, metro. I hear some of them today, read it in the papers, making tributes. They were the one that stopped it. But now we will have comfort. That's why I told you, Uncle Jimmy, the other time, that I'm not celebrating any mediocrity. We are doing trade for next year. What are you doing? We would have done it long ago and move forward. They stopped it in the name of whatever. So we missed him. I'm happy that I was part of this time that I felt him. I felt him part of his governance. I'm so excited. He was an hour to recall. That's one of my excitements. And I'm happy. He lived well. He's a life of celebration. He had his meal and slept. We'll celebrate him. We'll keep celebrating great men like this.
Amen.
So continue to rest in peace. And I pray for the family that they should, have the fortitude to bear the loss. We'll celebrate him. He's a great man.
Okay. One last call, please. Hello. Morning. Very quickly, 1 minute.
Good morning, Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah, just go straight, please.
Yeah, this is Pastor Ladipo calling from Sarigomo. If there's anything I'll remember Baba is creating mechanic villages.
Yes,
fact,
yes.
Those mechanic villages are still in existence. Lastly, when the National Theatre was to be built, he didn't just went straight there and they demolished people that were living there. They demolished their houses. They relocated them first to a place called Zion at Sarigomu. So these are powerful legacies that we always remember about Baba.
Was he the one who built National
No,
Theatre?
no. When they were to build that place, he played a key role.
Oh, I
by
see.
relocating the people that dwell in that place.
I see.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can't take any more. That's where we'll have to. One or two comments from you before. I mean, I don't want you to just be expected, but you can see that the response to his death has been overwhelming. And it leads me to, I hope our leaders, a lot of them are paying tribute to him. They haven't imbibed his values.
That's right.
It's hypocrisy.
Correct.
One of them said that, it is Baba that inspires him to do this. Baba was not anywhere like this gentleman that is saying all these things. It's not anywhere near him. In fact, I never met Baba though, but from what I heard from people, some of the leaders who are shouting Hosanna today for him having lived a good life, he probably wouldn't even have wanted to talk to some of them at all if he had his way. Because I remember that the good old UPN in those days, they had a role for everybody, meaning that there were some people they would tell, powerful as they were, that no, you do not have the expertise to run government. I remember Awolowo, I just don't want to go into details, but Awolowo telling one or two people, we will use you as a stronger man, but and remember, over and above everything, that Baba was not even our candidate for Lagos State, but I was submitted to democracy. We have to go. Thank you very much, Adenusi. You want to say something?
Yes, sir.
Very quickly, because I have less than a minute.
Okay, my friend, one of my friends said that if not for Baba, he wouldn't have gone to secondary school, and that he said Jakonde did not only make tuition free, he also gave me free books, and
Yes.
he was an Easterner. He said he didn't discriminate against me. He never cared whether we were from the east, south, west, or not. He did that for millions and millions.
Okay.
Most of the privileged youths today, the ones that are even running the political terrain now, went to the free school.
And they are now denying.
And they are now denying people.
Okay, I got to go.
Good morning.
Good morning. Right, that's where we'll knock it off for today. Today's the first part. The discourse comes up tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, not 9. And we are going to continue. We'll get reactions from the deputy governor. He has promised we can call him. Dr. Yomi Fini, Chief Lai Ajayi, top Lagosians across the spectrum. We'll be talking to them tomorrow. So it's tomorrow that we'll round up the full package. I'd like to thank Patrick. Patrick, you're coming in on Tuesday, right? Then we'll talk about their Papa traffic. We'll have so much to talk about. I'd like to thank Collins and Sheriff And Philip, as usual, he's disappeared from the studio. He's somewhere in the controls, struggling to get everybody on the line. So this is where we'll call it off today. God willing, I'll be with you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Bye.
Hey! Omo, make you no sleep on top bicycle. This better don't tie rapper. For those of una wey never use una MTN SIM for over 15 days now. MTN don't charge. Come increase your welcome back of our woof to 12 times your recharge when you load 100 naira and above. Yes, so no be one, no be two.
Radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.